Hey, good afternoon. Sorry, running a little behind. Took a little bit to get the bird ready to go. Queen of the Sky Day, heading up. Short haul, if you will, for the plane. We're just going to go from Oakland down to San Diego. So I hope y'all enjoy. We're going to fly the Skyline departure. Just looks kind of interesting when you look at the chart, and it's one of the few out of here in Oakland that allow me to technically fly how the plane is set up avionic wise. But anyway, the 747-200's on the line and just about ready to go. We got a couple of things to wrap up inside, plus our pre-brief, and we're on our way. But folks, here she is in her glory. As you all know, last week, the last 747, albeit Dash 8, was delivered to Atlas. A lot of pomp and circumstance, as you would expect. Plane's been in production, various versions since what, the late 60s. So, hey, welcome in, Hawker with the boo. Well, I mean, they said the same about the 707 and the 727. Wait till the 73 goes. But anyway, but yeah, here she is. This actually goes back quite a ways, as you could tell by the name on the airplane. Federal Express is what FedEx started as. No, not like many of you think, where they were part of UPS called Fed Up. Hey, Downwind Sim, welcome aboard. I'd say we got a seat for you. It's upstairs, so hope you can handle the nosebleed section up there. But yeah, we're taking off out of here, heading over to San Diego. So, but yeah, no, it wasn't Fed Up to start with first, FedEx with UPS. No, it was Federal Express. Um, and this is what they look like, folks. And, I really don't know who came up with the idea, unless it's because most of us were just calling it FedEx, for them to finally change the planes to FedEx. So, but anyway, the purple and white is going to fly again. Came very close. I have a bare metal version of it. I just didn't like what the bare metal looked like. So went back to the tried and true. We know this one looks good in the sky. We flew it from Miami up to Anchorage a few weeks ago. One last note before we get up in the pit up there. Let's see. I was just down at the Sportsplex last weekend and thought, well, hey, appreciate you. Downwind, we're always thinking of you, wishing you were in here. I know you're a busy guy. Just like that hawk up above you. So, but yeah, one last thing here. Now I totally lost my train of thought. I love when that happens at this age. Um, well, it'll come back to me. If it doesn't, obviously not that important. So, but we're going to get on up here in the pit and see where we're going to take it. Ah, no worries, Downwind Sim. It's kind of a normal thing for me at 57. It is what it is. So let's get on up there. Like I said, if it was important, it'll come back to me. Otherwise, wasn't that important, was it? All right, so we're in a classic, folks, and this truly is a classic. Um, between the 727, I believe the DC-8s had this. Um, Concorde had it. Three-man crews. DC-10s, almost forgot them. Three-man crews before the manufacturers changed it into two-man crews. But basically, up front, you got your captain to the left, first officer to the right, as I like to term the pretty boys, and the guy that does all the hard work to make them look pretty plays with all of this. He's the guy that gets to play with everything, man. He has his hands in it all, except the INS in the older versions and those in the FMS. So, and we're going to do the FMS. So he gets to play with all of this fun. All they got was this. Hey, folks, that's a lot right there. If you really boil it down, that's actually a lot of work. The DC-10, yes, I did remember it finally there, Hawker, but thank you. So, as I said, we are on our way to getting this bird set up. So, you know what, before we go to that, let's just kind of set up here. We're sitting in stand 5 here at Oakland, and let's pull up Sim Toolkit, take a look at what dispatch has planned for us. All right, there's Sim Toolkit. Again, folks, real quick plug, and it's not paid for, nothing like that. I just like making sure you all get the stuff that's outstanding, and Sim Toolkit is that. Volanta, don't get me wrong, folks, is a great tool. Misses a couple of, to me, what I like tools, meaning where I can look at the numbers and how they related to the runway in my landing. Beyond that, they're both fairly close. I mean, there's some differences. They're actually getting pretty similar, but they both come in at the staggering price of free. I know it breaks your piggy banks, folks, but yeah, they're free. Very, very few times do you get to say something is free in Flight Sim. That's worth anything. Oh yeah, there's a ton of planes out there that are free. Some are really good. Zebo comes to mind. And some, well, that's why they're free. Um, but when it comes to utility programs, usually you pay a lot. You get a lot here for not paying anything. Sim Toolkit's great, folks. You can plan your flight. You can look for a flight. You can evaluate your flight and do it all for free. So check it out, folks. Sim Toolkit is it's to me a must. If you don't want that program, fine. Volanta is out there as well. Another great free utility to use. They're both really good, but I just think this one gives more information. That's why I use it. All right, so you can see what we got planned. That's the bare metal one, folks. When I saw it on the line here, I just the blemishes on the metal just I don't know. It's just me probably. So to the guy that painted it, probably did a wonderful job. This guy behind the wheel just may not have it installed properly. But the purple and white looks good, so we'll go with it. Tough flight plan today, folks. All you got to type in is Avenal J1 LAX. And then you have SIDS and stars on either end. Really a rough one, folks. It's only like 350 miles, if even that. I stand corrected. I was off by Fitz 400 miles by air, 434 on the ground. Short run down the coast, as the title said, and we're just going to enjoy the ride. So today, and this is going to look freaky to y'all, we do not have people back there, folks. Although sometimes the parties I've heard down in the cargo bay with the boxes and cargoes and skids get kind of wild, but you know, it isn't people. So, but we are going to run with 95,000 pounds of payload, bringing us up to just over 482,000 pounds. And we'll look at that here in a second. Fuel today is 5,600, or yeah, 56,660 on the pounds there. Look for us not at 39,000. To me, that seems for a 400-mile trip just a little too high, and for the weight, even more. Dispatchers out there, hey, feel free to lambaste me for being conservative. We're going to take it to 33. So we'll see how that works. And with the way traffic would be normally in the real world out here, getting it up to 39 could be rough. But I mean, I'm sure it happens. Don't get me wrong. Those little 737s and Airbuses, just scream to the altitude, let alone the 757. All right. So let's clear out Sim Toolkit and let's get down to work. Okay, first thing you do, folks, when you come into this plane, I recommend before you even get the ground power and the chocks in, come over here, kick the battery, kick the standby power, battery on, standby to normal. Then when you come over here, click ground. When you click these, you're going to actually hear them. Otherwise, you won't. That's why I do it. Then open your doors. Then once you have your ground power, do your connection so that you're on ground power and you're good to go, not draining batteries. It's getting our galley power on, trim air on, humidifier on. You know, God forbid those bags and packages and cargo back there get all bent out of shape because they're a tad bit on the tepid side or warm. All right, and then once you're done there, you can go through your normal stuff, checking just like you would Boeing, down each one of these, doing making sure because we don't have RTO for the auto brake, so we keep it off. Anti-skid on, close the guard, body guard armed, open the guard, set it to arm. Turn your IRS to align, and align, and then just go down. And these, your SLCAL UHF radios do not work on this plane in this version. Do your checks, and I'm doing them again just for the heck of it. Coming right down, and we'll be boarding here in a minute. Again, all three of these panels in down here, turn your radios on. Essentials and number 2, get them to on. Test your stall warning, test your Mach airspeed warning test, over rotate, test your wings, anti-ice, and of course, heat. Ran through it pretty quick, folks, and then of course turn the power switch on, lift the gate, go to on, check your overheat, off, close the guard, get them back on, turn the power off, and get your window heat on. Finally, do your light check, which will do the entire front half of the plane. So let me kind of show that off a little. So you see what I mean? Everything lights up. Okay, we've already done all of that. Then set your lighting. I bring everything up except for the dome and the other light switches to max. If it's at night, then we'll dial them back after we're through the checklists. All right. Again, nav and logo. Logo's your choice, folks. I mean, there isn't anything on the tail. So really is, it's optional. But, hey, you got Delta or you got US Air or American, you may want to advertise. Advertise. All right, now where the meat and potato testing comes on up here is in 2 places, here and the flight engineer. So you're going to set a ILS in these 2 and basically do an up left, which means it's going to move the, well, let me just show one to you, and then you can realize, hey, it works on the other one the same way. Bear with me a second as I try to remember the frequency. Okay, I'm cheating. I pulled up the chart. And you may have to do that, folks, if you're unfamiliar with the airports. And if you're familiar, oh, God help you, because you're like me and you know way too many of these airports because you've flown to too many of them, too many times. Oh, wait. There we go. Forgot to do something. Okay. All right, so the up left looks like this. See where the localizer is? It swings over, swings back. Look for your glide slope to move one more time. See the glide slope goes up. Now when we do a down right, it's already over to the right, but the glide slope went down. Okay, and you can do that with the flight director on or off. Once you do it though, turn the flight director back off, because if you do the audible, which we will do with the checklists, it'll not like you. Okay, once you've done that, reset, and I was back at 13.7. Okay, we just make sure everything's set right. And again, we would do the same thing over here. Starting from left, moving to right. Just watch your gauge. Do a test, clear, test. You only get that wah on the radar altimeter on the captain side. I do not know why the first officer doesn't do it. But when you test this, you're going to get these little things going off. And that's what you're looking for. Do your warnings. And I'm just...
Glide slope. Glide slope.
Never heard that before. Rudder ratio. Do all your tests here. Come back. Now what I'll do, turn on my radar screen. It's not turning the radar on. Just warming up. Okay, this is going to be a term many of you born after the years of, after, say, 1990, maybe even 1980, may never have heard of the term CRT. Cathode, I can't even say it myself. It's the old monitors we used to use on computers. Had to warm them up. Cathay Road, I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to look it up Google, because I don't even know if Google knows about it. It's that old. Let's see how badly I got roasted on that one. Cathode rate. I knew someone would. Thanks, Downwind Sim. Ghost Miner 3, welcome aboard. Thanks for your first time chat here. Hope for many more. And hey, if you like what you're hearing and seeing from this old guy, hey, we'd love you to click follow. All right. So anyway, that's how you get this thing started up in the cockpit. Go crossed here again, making sure everything's set. Then you get to, now if you've got the INSs, this is when you start doing your putting in all those lovely fixes. That's one reason why I don't use it. Two, I really had a bad experience with this same type aircraft back in a century of flight. Yeah, folks, that goes back a little ways. 2002, I think it came out, 2 or 3, and is actually called Flight Sim 2004. And it ran up to 2008 when FSX joined and bombed. But I ended up flying it from then on. But anyway, back in that day, I had the SIVA payware INS system, and I did something wrong on shutdown, I mean, and it never worked correctly thereafter. Couldn't get an error code, nothing to figure out what the heck was wrong with it. All of a sudden, this thing called the 747-400 came out from PMDG. Wow, is all I could say way back when. And secondly, a FMS that worked with all aircraft, only like $5-10. Bought it, ran with it, and said to heck with the INS. Although those of you that fly it, I know love it because it is fun. It is just a royal. It gets monotonous having to, after every 9 fixes, put in more. Well, you're updating as you go, but you can only take 9 fixes. The LTN, I think, can take more. But again, I don't do any of that, so I don't like trying to get into that world of it because I'm sure I'm going to say something wrong. But again, get your frequencies set up. Lighting. Now here, so that the checklist will run seamless, make sure you turn your radar to standby. It's not irradiating at that time, and move the panel up to 5, tilt up 5. Set your transponder to Xponder. That way the green light shows on your X pilot for VATSIM, so controllers can lower their blood pressure because you're not squawking. Mode C, oh gosh. So they can calm down. The only one that will give you trouble are your lights and your EPR down here. It wants you to go around. There were settings for takeoff wet, TOW, not your takeoff weight, takeoff wet, and TOD, which we have D as in Delta, not top of descent, folks, takeoff dry. I don't understand turbine engines back in the day, but they used to inject water for more thrust. Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, I flew a prop. We didn't have to worry about that. So, in the real world, I actually did fly props. So, all right, so that's all you would do here. Over here on the other panel, you just begin running anything that says test. You just keep clicking, make sure your galley powers are on and all of this. And once you get all the testing done, you're set to start loading. Now, what you'll do here, first off, load calculator, refuel, and payload are what you use. Let's explain them first, then we'll show you. Load calculator is just that. It calculates what the weights are going to be in the aircraft, calculates your fuel requirement for you to then load. That's all it does. It does not load the plane. Now, to load the passengers and cargo, or in our case, the passengers are cargo, just called passengers, we go to payload. Okay, to load your fuel, bet you haven't figured it out yet. All right, hey, that is awesome. And Downwind Sim, thank you so much for chiming in and helping my memory out. It always needs a boost. So thank you, sir. And hopefully you enjoy the nice little trip down the coast. Okay, and refuel fuels the airplane. And all you do is go to the load sheet. It's going to show you what you would have to drain from what's already in it. Wait a minute, up here. To get to this level, which is 128,000. I'm just going to do instant here. And now all of a sudden we have our 56,803 pounds. We were requesting 56,660 pounds. Perfect. We're just a little over that. Uh-oh, why do I have a circle? Okay, good. Anytime I see a circle, folks, I start thinking, am I about to crash to desktop? Payload. What I'm going to do different here, we do the same thing, use load sheet data, and our resulting fuel is 482,009 pounds. That's actually what we're due to load. So I am going to actually let it load, just clicking board and board. So we're going to put on 296 people, the equivalent weight thereof in packages, skids, and all of that good stuff. And we're going to load 30,200 underneath. And by the time this sucker is loaded to 296, we're good to go. You know, it is such an, always love this with this plane. I'm going to have 14 crew members on it. And I'm not hauling any horses. Interesting. Man, Downwind's going to be treated to luxury back there. There may be a pedicure and a manicure involved being upstairs. All right. Ooh, frame rates are getting a little rough. What's going on here? Just happened to notice that. Let me go over here and see if Well, we'll see how that pans out. Keep an eye on it. All right, we'll just let it keep going. All right, so let's get this bird ready to wrap up here, shall we? Nice look out the wings again. Okay, since we have the fuel, let's go ahead and kick over the APU. Okay, all we got to do is click start. I'm sorry, to on, and wait for the door to open. Now we go to start. I'll pan over a little bit. How the heck are we running? Okay, that was quite interesting. All right, so we're now stable. Okay, before I go to the APU, let's collect the generators. Okay, we got, oh, hang on. Close the top. We're going to get a full reading down here, both gauges. Okay, got our hertz looking good and our voltage at 115. Good. Both of them, we have two generators, believe it or not. Two closes to do. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Oh, sorry, folks. Getting ready for the weekend with the grandbaby, so. All right, so we are there. And now once we're on, let's click bleed air on. Okay, and let's go full. And then finally, all right, and she is now just about ready to rock and roll. Now, one thing I like to show, and this didn't happen with the 727, but it did happen, well, yeah, it did happen with nor the 737s, and even to this day. But the later aircraft, it does automatically turn a fuel pump on, like it did here. So you could flip it on, folks, but it automatically starts pulling fuel. The other aircraft, like I said prior, did not. So in the 737, you are supposed to turn on one of the fuel pumps. Now, most will recommend in the 737-800 the left, I believe, rear pump. I'd have to look at the panel to make sure which one I'm hitting. And it's the reason they choose that, you're going to love it. If there's a problem, it's the easiest one to get to. So, anyway, little trivia there that I'd heard from a mechanic. All right, so we're up and running with the EPU. Where are we on the crew? Oh, we're only up to 140 people. Come on, people, get on the plane. Let's go. We have to tell them gate people, get the cattle prods out. Kick them along. Only halfway full at this point. All right, I think we're ready. Now, you can also see we have an EFB here at the flight engineer station. One over here, well, you can't see it there, sorry. At the co-pilot. One over here with the pilot, and that's the one I have a quick move over to. Uh, Yep, I said cattle prod there, Hawker. Think we need to think about installing those at the gate to help people get their butts on that plane. And if not in the plane, to get them in their seats. Uh, I don't think my airline would last long, just for some reason. All right, so we're up to 180. They'll be there shortly. All right, so nice look there again at that side of the panel. What I'm going to do is while it's loading, well, we're going to let it load. So we've got everything set. Let's take a look at our departure. To do that, we can do it one of two ways. I can bring up Sim Toolkit again. Why don't we? What the heck? Let's show that off because you can always get it in charts. All right, so there's Sim Toolkit. Now I'm going to first switch over to the live map. And big thing I want to show here, Volanta does the same thing here, by the way, except their blue items are Volanta pilots. Yeah, they're the ones just on Volanta. The green that you see on here, they are VATSIM pilots. And look, Los Angeles is up there, somebody I have not seen up in quite a while. And then on Sim Toolkit, now Volanta doesn't support POSCON yet. If you are part of POSCON, you can set it up as you see I did here. And they'll show up kind of a darker gray than what you see here in the aircraft the same way. All right, so from here, if you come down, you got SkyVector available. So I can go here. And this was a flight we did not too long ago. The video is actually posted, folks, over in our Discord channel. Or, hang on a second, or you can just check it out by going to this link to see that flight. And that'll put you on the flight. It was with the C90 that comes with X-Plane. We're going KOAK, KSAN. Now, this is the straight line run. Here is our run. Bear with me a second. It's not going to change much, folks. I'm going to warn you. Just an ever so slightly different. You look at it on the world, instead of going straight off Oakland down here, we got to veer around a little bit because of, kind of tough to come back over your own airport in the Bay Area. So you have SkyVector. Boom, gone. Then you have NavGraph. And let's unload that. But we're going to bring up, where are you? There you are. All right, so that's showing you the same thing that Charts 8, because this is Charts 8, folks. This is that program built right into it. All you got to do is activate it in the settings, get your login information into it, and voila, it takes whatever you do there over to here. Not necessarily everything will be there, but double check it and you can see that it's pretty close. All right, so there we are centered in. We'll go to the Skyline departure. Oh, I guess we ought to go airport first. All right, so we're parked over here at FedEx. We're going to come out Bravo 5 to Bravo, all the way down to Whiskey 1, and that's the way we'll take off on the 10,500-foot runway. Pretty simple, straightforward taxi brief. Departure. That's not as straightforward. Okay, we're going to roll out of here on a heading of 296. At 3,000 feet, we're going to turn to a heading of 200. And then we're going to intercept. This could happen very quickly, folks. I don't know the true distance between the two, whether we'll wings level or not. But we're going to eventually pick up the 135 degree radial outbound from Point Reyes, PYE, as you see right here. And then we'll follow that to port. At port, we need to be at above 9,000 feet. So the whole time we're climbing. Then we'll turn and intercept Woodside. So we're going to just basically fly down till we intercept Woodside. 105 inbound. It's about a 10-mile trek, folks. And then turn slightly to a heading of 116, direct to Wages. And then where you see us there, direct to Avenal, which is the 116 right here. Okay. No initial altitudes. And then from Avenal down to LAX. So that's our planned routing for today, folks. Again, 296-200 to the 135. So again, Sim Toolkit has a great tool here for you. All right, so let's see if all the cattle has been loaded. It has. Okay, so we're going to come back here. Let's do a couple things real quick. Close up. We'll keep the main door open. If I had the, reopening it. I am so silly. If we had GSX, it would look better. Not worried about it. Or its equivalent in X-Plane. All right, you know what? Let's close it this time. I was silly, didn't read. It was saying to click on it to open it. There they go. All right. Oh, my bad. I meant to click up here. All right, so now we have our payload and our refuel set. Let's do our calculations here for takeoff. It's right here on it as well. And what I'm going to do is get rid of Sim Toolkit. Over here. Get some of the information I'm going to need. So it's a 10,500 foot. Well, first off, load sheet. So that data's in here. 10,500 for your runway. Airport elevation, I think, is 9. Yep. Oh, wrong one. You see, it's only 100-foot increments, folks. We'll set it at 0, 296. We set it to 300. Do not know the slope. Not going to worry about it. Temperature here. You can do it one of two ways. You can go to Sky Vector. Grab it when you hover your mouse over the green for Oakland. Or click M and get the map pulled up. Either way works, folks. Oh, kind of sort of does. Get a little further down. There we go. Click details. Tells you all the good things there, and they don't tell you the temperature. See if their winds are variable. What are winds over here? 260 at 3. Okay, that's cool. All right, well, we're going to go with the known information. So, all right, so temperature 10 degrees Celsius. 340. 30.4, was it 40? That seems high. Yep, 40. Yippee, that means when this system gets to us, my head's going to be pounding again. Oh well. And that's at 3 knots. All right, so you got all your information in here, folks. Obviously, our runway's dry because I'm showing scattered layer at 25,000 feet. Unless we got a pretty moist atmosphere, it's going to dry up before it hits the ground. Anything that might be falling, without even anything is falling. Now, Now that you got this side done, over here tells you what came out. Okay, so we're going to have with flaps 10, 121, 129, 147, 2,000 feet of runway. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, never seen a 747 even empty take off in 2,000 feet of runway, unless they were at max power. Mr. Felis, sorry, did not mean to laugh at you, but that's way off. Okay, just so you know that, folks, we're going to eat up, we should, 4,000 to 5,000 foot even empty. And at this weight configuration, granted the weight of the fuel isn't much, we should still take 6,000 feet of runway at 10 degrees flap. And usually they'll be at 20 degrees. But anyway, so there's your V1, V rotate, V2. Then it shows you your flap up speed. So 160, your flap up at 220. Now, you can just click set bugs. Voila. Speed bugs are set. Okay, finally, here's our stab trim, 2.7. We'll have to set that. Our initial pitch up, 18 degrees. Yes, we're going to rocket out of here. Well, if you're only going to take 2,000 feet to take off, you're pretty much a rocket. And once we clear 10,000, we'll speed up to 298. All right. So, and if I were to switch it to 20, still the same on the amount of runway. Okay, so there we go. We've got all of our calculations done. We're ready for takeoff. Well, ready for engine start. All right, folks. Taking a little longer here than I wanted, so let's get over here and start this checklist. Simply go to checklist, click start.
Before start checklist, please.
And we probably
Gear
will
lever
hear
and lights.
some groans.
Down and check. Brakes. Parked. Start levers. Off. Radios. On and check. Flight control hydraulic power. On. INS. Check and nav. Compasses. Slaved. Window heat. On. Seatbelts and no smoking. On. Emergency lights. Armed. Exterior lights. Hold on.
There's the first one. He's looking for the beacon. He's basically saying we're pushing back. Not quite yet.
Flight instruments. Check. Altimeters and clocks. 1, 0, 2, 9. Set and cross check. Radio INS switches. Radio. Radar and transponder. Standby. Indicator lights. Check. Engine and wing anti-ice. Off. Stall warning. Check. Mach airspeed warning. Check. Auto brakes. Check and off. Body gear steering. Arm. Anti-skid. On. Autopilot and flight director. Check and off. Takeoff warning. Hold on. Check. Auto flight enunciators. Check. GPWS. Check. Instrument warning. Check. Flight director computer selectors. Check. Instrument source selectors. Normal. Reserve brake valve. Closed. Spoilers. Down. Static selectors. Normal. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. Brake pressure. Check. Stabilizer trim. Check and on. Rudder and aileron trim. Check. Checklist completed.
Same thing here, folks. We're going to have a couple that balk at us, and it's because they're wanting us pushing back.
Battery. On.
APU panel. Check. Auxiliary power. Check. Engine oil quantity. Check. Fuel quantity. 5, 6, 5, 2, 1 pounds. Fuel panel. This. Check and set. Pressurization controls. Check and set. Bleed controls. This. Check and set. Hydraulic quantity. Check. EPR computer. Let's see.
All right, this is what I was talking about. It's looking for GA. We're going to do TOD. So I'll just come over here because it's a lot easier for you to see, and we'll click check.
Circuit breakers. Check. Indicator lights. Check. Electrical panel. Check and set. Air conditioning controls. Check and set. Fire control and wing overheat panels. Check and set. Equipment cooling. Check. Passenger oxygen. Check. Hydraulic panel. Check and set. Fuel jettison panel. Check. Crew oxygen. On. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. ADPs off. Checklist completed.
We do the next one after start. So we're ready to call for pushback and get ready to go. Bear with me as I get the map up here. In case we want to use it. All right, time for, whoop, wrong one, there we go. Okay, better pushback, come see us.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Okay, now you saw me take it back and then pull forward. That is so those bogies in the back here, let me show them off here real quick. These wheels actually twist, they'll turn to help us get a shorter wheelbase on our turn and save wear and tear on tires. So by pulling them up, that makes sure they're straight. And here comes the wheel hugger. Let's go ahead.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks. Chocks removed.
Okay, we are started with FedEx Express Virtual. Real quick, folks, if you are looking for a VA, these folks are really good technology, great bunch of people, been with them for like 6-7 years.
So connected
And
bypass pin and
I
service.
love flying with
Release
them.
parking brake.
Don't fly as much as we used to because we've a couple of other VAs have come along that have really taken hold. One being with American, one being Pan Am and Piedmont base. So you got a Pan Am one and a Piedmont base that I fly for as well. All right, so real quick, I'm going to kick on my flight directors so I don't forget. And we're going to release the brake.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
Starting pushback.
Parking
And
brake
you may
release.
start engines.
Ground power disconnected.
Forgot about that. All right. Moment of truth. Did we start X-Plane 11
Ready to start the
or
engines.
12? I did this
Ready for
wrong
engine
once,
start.
folks, so that's why it's kind of interesting. And I'm going to do it on a System 1.
Starting engine 3.
Starter valve open.
Okay, got that opened. Now, what I'm going to do is head over and get my eyeball on both engine 3, which is slow because somebody forgot to keep the packs off. Now it's building up faster.
20% and 2.
Fuel on. Lights up.
Okay, now
Starter off.
we're looking for engine stable or stabilized, something like that.
Engine stabilized.
Hey, we're in X-Plane 12. Another way to tell is this rolled up past 30 and your engines are all in the green, or your engine is in the green, like it is here. Yeah, we had a hard time with that. Oh. Right, number 4.
Starting engine 4.
Starter valve open.
And I started with the wrong system, but we'll go with it. And when he says 20%, you guessed it, fuel on.
20% and 2.
Fuel on. Lights up.
Starter off.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Engine
Disconnecting
stabilized.
tow. Stand by.
All right. Now, what I'm going to do here,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747 Classic. We will depart shortly after we have our clearance and the cabin crew is finished with their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
I'm going to start both 1 and 2.
Starting engine 1.
Starter valve open.
Starting engine 2.
Starter valve open.
Let's get her started up and on internal power.
Twenty percent and 2.
Okay, there's engine 1.
Fuel on.
20% and 2.
Tow
Fuel
is
on.
disconnected
Lights
and
up.
bypass
Starter
and has
off.
been removed.
Lights up.
Hand signal will be on the right.
Starter
We'll
off.
see you next time and have a great flight.
Engine stabilized. Engine stabilized.
And guess what, folks? There you go. Now, let me show something. Well, no, let's get on internal power here. Okay, our engines are now on the bus. And kill the bleed. All right, and our galley powers are on. Okay, now I can show this off a little. This airplane, if you're on VATSIM, we're going to stay off today. Mainly because I want to really focus more on getting reacclimated to the plane. If I do choose to fly across the pond April 1st, I want to use this plane. Now, the A330 is the backup plane. I know hearing people, why don't you take the 767? I'd rather do one of those two than the 76. Just personal preference. All right, but let's show something here. Something you can do in this plane, and you can do in a lot of them. You just got to go try it. So let's turn
Cabin
this.
crew, arm slides.
Waiting for the call button to come on.
All doors are closed and armed.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your chief flight attendant.
Okay,
And on
this
behalf
actually
of our
works,
captain and the
folks.
entire crew, I
That's
wish you
full
welcome
blast on the
board.
PA, so you can
Please
hear it.
take your seats and fasten your seatbelt. Also make
And
sure
you can
that
go
your
all the way up.
seatbelt has been stowed away and the back of your seat is in upright position.
So, but I'll make the call there, Hawker, as we get closer.
Will demonstrate the safety
See, I can even turn it off.
seatbelt sign illuminates.
We'll keep it so we can keep them in the back of our ears.
The metal fittings, one into the
And you
other,
can do the same thing up here, folks. If you have an obnoxiously loud controller or pilot or whatever, dial them down. You can also dial up your VORs to tune them, your ADFs and all of that, just like you would in the real life. So it's really intuitive, and a lot of the X-Plane 12 aircraft have this, and I think X-Plane 11, but I never really played with it. All right, so we're done with this page. Let's go back here. Okay, flight recorder, start switches, beacon lights. I'm just going through it real quick. Brake pressure, start levers are idle, engine ice, electric panel, pack valves open, warning lights out, and hydraulics. That's the other one. So you can use it before you do it.
After start checklist.
Flight recorder.
On.
Start switches.
Off.
Beacon lights.
On.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Engine anti-ice.
Off.
Electrical panel. Check. Pack valves. Open. Dual warning lights. Out. Hydraulic panel. Check. Flight recorder. On. After start checklist completed.
All right. So what we got to do now, set flaps 10.
Flaps 5. Flaps 10.
Okay, stave trim has to be in the green. All right, now, this is a good one. 2.7, folks. So we got to have this roughly near 3, which is outside the green. So what we do is go up. That's the nose down side. That's what it means by in the green. There we go. Probe heats. On. Go ahead and run with engine ice on. Flight controls. Oh, there's something we haven't checked. All right, so to make them appear or disappear, folks, right here, just click here. It'll either have your tail number or something else there, but it's this little spot right below your TCAS. So, see how it's snapped? We don't want that. We want it to be nice and gentle. Because when you're on approach and it snaps like this, and you're just trying to get it to do that, it's a pain in the rump. And sorry for coughing in your ears.
Parking brake released. Taxi checklist, please.
Flaps. Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Takeoff data, EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Stabilizer trim.
Set in green band.
Probe heat.
On.
Flight controls.
Check.
Yaw dampers.
Check.
Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Check.
APU. Let's see.
Cabin ready.
All right, sorry about that, folks. All right, so we're taxiing out, and once we get to the end of the runway, we'll set our EPR and all of that up to the proper settings, and get ready to roll.
Off. Fuel heat. Off. Totalizer and gross weight. Set. Flight engineer and pilot panels. Check. Aft cargo heat. Normal. Seatbelt and shoulder harness. Check. Taxi checklist completed.
All right. We're working our way out nice and easy. Get that one taking our time here. All right, again, 147 is V2. That's what we're set to. Once we get up into the air, we'll dial up to, I think it's maximum 210. Oh, we don't have a max, but that's what I'm going to set it so we can make our turn to 200. All right, let's take a look at our before takeoff, shall we? All right, icing considerations. Okay, from here, all San Jose, few clouds. Just kind of looking at airports along the way, Salinas and Waltonsville, LA, clear. Everything's clear to include San Diego. We're going to use engine ice only because of temperature, just to be safe here on departure. Transponder set, ignition's going to flight arm while we taxi. That's all of them, folks. Okay. And body gear steering, that will be set once we're on the runway. So we'll come out, get everything lined up. Now over here, Your body gear steering, is it this one? Lights up when they're tilted, when they're turned. So we'll make sure the light goes out. Oakland, folks. Beautiful scenery here by default. Oh, by the way, with the new release here, folks, 12.03 R1. Yeah, R1, I believe it is. They haven't fixed anchorage yet, so bummer, but who knows when they will. It's not in the release notes, which would be my telltale. But I checked it also. So that's a bummer. But, you know, hey, we're good everywhere else. All right, so let's run the before takeoff, knowing we got a couple things still to correct. Actually, we'll do it at the whole. And that pier going out, folks, that's the approach. Here we go. Let's get this last one ran.
Before takeoff checklist.
We'll check and check.
Icing considerations.
Check.
Cabin alert.
Check.
Transponder.
Hold on.
Thought we had it set. Oh.
Check.
Ignition.
Flight start.
Body gear steering.
Damn.
Again, we're waiting for the runway.
Back valves. Wait. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Fuel boost pumps. On. Cross feed valves. Check. Before takeoff checklist completed.
All right, we're ready. Let's just get ourselves all situated here. Oakland traffic, FedEx 811 Heavy, departing runway 30, Skyline 1.
Parking brake set. Parking brake released.
Okay, lights are out. Okay, here we go, folks. Oh, EPR. Now you can do this, you can actually go down here, way back here, set it yourself, or come up here, EPRL, there it is. We want to be in EPR, and here we go. Usually we used to get stabilized, but I guess we don't anymore.
Cross set.
80 knots.
Hey, cross check good.
V1, rotate. Gears up.
Okay,
Flaps 5.
3,000, turn to 200.
Thousand to level off. Flaps 1.
Okay, we've got it set. Coming up on 10,000, folks. We're about to do our takeoff climb. All right, and we need to go to VOR lock. And we're about to join at port.
10,000.
Looks like we're going to be pretty close to port. Actually, I'm going to okay, we'll just go direct. Okay, 10,000. I'll let this thing accelerate.
Flaps up.
Thought I had them up, but I wanted to make sure. Okay, we are on course. Let me just get up here, get these lights off. We're on our way, folks. After takeoff gear lever, landing lights, ignition, seats, pack valves open, and fuel heat auto.
After takeoff checklist.
Gear lever. Off. Landing and logo lights.
Damn.
Oh, I thought I turned my logo.
Off.
Ignition.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoke inside. Check. Pack valves. Open. Fuel heat. Auto. After takeoff checklist completed.
All right, folks, we're on our way through 20,000. All right, and not sure of the localizer approach, but I'm thinking about 300. Making sure we're on course. INS. See, I set here, folks, and I'm trying to figure out, why do I have GS? And then I realized, oh, INS is over here. oh, 17-1. Actually, 17. Heading 116. And we'll kind of see as we cross Wages how close we are, because we came off Woodside. 13-9er, I think it is. Actually, if we leave it like that, I can check. Okay, we're looking good. Let's go to INS. We're going to leave nav2 alone. So, there you go, folks. We're in cruise climb, and next checklist is when we descend, if we even use it, and we're on our way, folks. Little rocky on the takeoff to a point. It was just me getting reacclimated. That's why it takes so long for me to get to the checklist on takeoff. I mean, we had plenty of time in that straight level. It's just getting the autopilot doing what I wanted to do and get us going. So, but we are showing what looks like 45 minutes, and yet still having about 5,000 feet to go. So, top of climb. Well, according to this, we could make 39,000. What do you say? Let's go for it. And there's the other thing I forgot. Alright, folks. And as Hawker nicely did there from this moderating booth, the YouTube channel, folks, has every flight we fly, the good, the bad, the ugly, except for the ugly flight where we were in the wrong sim, which would have been a couple flights ago with the 747. And I just, since I couldn't resolve it, I didn't put that one up. But everything else is there, including every now and then I throw up some special YouTube-only videos, so you won't see them here, Twitchers. So you may want to get over there, subscribe, so you can get alerts on when we post. As well as the Discord channel will let you know. So, but yeah, be looking for some ideas that are coming. And folks in the Discord channel, any idea of what you'd like to see on the stream, we'd like to give it a try. I know we're going to be working with one of our pilots that are on Discord going through training. We'll have him dispatch us here soon. I don't know if we'll be able to do that online or not, but he's going to dispatch me out, and we'll see how well his talents are becoming. So, I wish him well. Anything I can do to better someone in aviation, I'd love to help them out. So I'll tell you, one area of aviation that I really love is dispatching, is flight planning. Dispatching isn't 100% flight planning, folks. It's a good chunk of it. But there's more to it. So, good luck. I hope that attitude there, B4D attitude. Good luck to you, man, in that training. Like I said, I really wish I would have pulled the trigger on that and went. But, oh well. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, a lot of things in my life. And, hey, you never know whether they'll work out or not. But I wish you the best. Prayers for you to get through training and on to a good airline. Okay, we're about 8.5, boom. We'll switch this into KOAK. Oh boy, she is really oscillating out here. I may have to take over VS. Let's get her at Mach 8.5.
To level off.
All right, we'll see how this thing does. All right, let's see what it does as we level off. Hawker, I really do not expect to be doing New York to Singapore. That is just 18 hours of streaming that too much can go wrong, especially with the way Twitch is here of late, and OBS. So, we had some problems with the King Air flight that went up, so with OBS. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure we'll be able to do that. I'm not even sure the across the pond is going to go if I were to do it smoothly. I mean, VATSIM said enough. I mean, that's going to be tough enough, let alone what OBS has been doing to us here lately. So, all right, let's see, where are we here? 8.85 or 0.85, that's good. But yeah, I really don't, folks, I would love to do a New York to Singapore on here, 18 hours of flying. Okay, let me rephrase that. The aircraft doing 18 hours of flying. This guy, not so many. But we have done them before from New York to Hong Kong. So, but again, I wasn't streaming that flight, folks. All right, we're in cruise. Let's get the fuel panel taken care of here. Let's go ahead and start flushing the reserve tanks. Top of descent comes real quick, folks, on this flight. Let's take a look at the arrival, shall we? And again, for that, let's use Sim Toolkit. Okay, so you can see, here's part of the reason I'm still trying to get myself oriented here. All right, so pull this back and we'll get rid of this one. Hubbard 1 is what we're flying off the Los Angeles transition. Okay, the big thing for us here is Cardi be below 15,000 feet. So what we'll do is we'll come off LAX on a 118-degree heading, a couple of fixes in between, and we'll plan to be at or below 15,000. And I'm thinking I want to be a little bit lower. Then we'll tune in Mission Bay, and at the 5-mile radius, we'll turn a Torrey out to our arrival. Okay, up top here, D8s. D8s, folks, if you're not familiar with it. Well, subathon is a thought there, Hawker. Is a thought. But if you just go to that website, folks, when you see D8s, it's going to give you the ATIS current in play at that station. So it gives you a ballpark of what you're going to do. Limitation, U.S. base only, so you can't do that for the world. All right, so off Torrey, we're going to then proceed to Lindy. So right about here, we're going to probably, I'm going to go due almost close to due east, and then work my way around to catch Lindy to work in right. Lindy will be at 5,000. That's why I'm not sure what altitude I want to be at across Cardi. Then Lindy to Vida, whatever, 4,000, 3,600. It's a localizer, folks, no glide slope. So you're doing the descents to Rebo at 2,000, then you start down to the missed approach altitude, and then time it out. For us, it'll be about 214, I think, to 2 minutes to around 207, 2 minutes to 207. So on our timing, and then we should see the runway and bring it right in. Folks, that's a perfect world. That's actually any world that a normal commercial pilot does fly in. When flying with Mike gets involved, that's where the laughter comes in. All right, so real quick, 110.9 is our localizer, IUBR. 275 is the approach course. 2,000 is our descent altitude at Rebo. So we need to be at 2,000 feet there, folks. Minimum descent altitude, 680, 663 feet above sea level, or I'm sorry, above ground. That'll be on the radar altimeter. 680 is what it'll look like on our altimeter. Airport's 17 feet above sea level. Here's what we need for the approach. Here's the missed approach, which is basically straight out and hold at Seacade, 12 miles off the Mission Bay VOR, and we hold. Again, we're looking at Mausers coming in, Pappy's on the right. Here's the missed approach and our minimums. For our aircraft, folks, it's 1.75 miles. Same numbers, so 680. Okay, we are getting closer and closer to top of descent. Top of descent is forecasted right here. We'll see. I'm going to do some calculations in my head here, so bear with me. I'll say them out loud as I do them. Cruise, so I can get rid of that. And let's get over here. Make sure. 2992. All right, so let's get over here to the calculations page. Go to landing. Okay, 9,400 foot runway. Elevation, pretty much 0, folks. It's 17 feet above sea level. 275, so that'll be 280. Dry. Temperature, we'll go real world again. 19. Real world winds, 180 at 3. All right, so that's our base pressure. 3028. And then we click load from data sheet. Now, you could read the weather only from the sim. You could also get the data for the airport from the sim. Actually, I've never used this one. I have, and again, I like flying real weather. So there's Avino, by the way, folks. I hope. Anyway, we'll recoup if it isn't. Okay, so here's your flap speeds down to 30, VREF 134. So these are the speeds we can start deploying. 234 we can start in on. Landing distances. 5,900 feet down the runway, minimum almost the whole runway, maximum about midfield, go medium. So we'll set that now. All right, folks, so we are on our way. We're programmed. Now let's get that descent. Make sure we're not stalling, which is always a good thing. All right, so we're at 39. We need to get down to, say, well, we'll say 15 for now. So 39,000 down to 15 is 24. Drop the zeros, folks. 24. We'll times that by 3. Minimum 72 miles from that point. I'm going to add 10, so 82 miles from that point. 82. All right. So it looks like about 13 miles out of LAX. Just basically subtracting our fixes. So approximately 13 miles out. We're Avenue 17. Let's go ahead and set LAX up. LAX is 13.6. Over here, set up Mission Bay. 17.8. All right, folks, so right now we're direct Fillmore, and then LAX is 13.6, so distance is 100 miles. Now is a good time to take a break. I'm going to take one real quick. Be right back. Got to use the lav, folks, and then when you get back, put your predictions in for what you think we'll do for this landing. I wish we could put in how many go-arounds. No, just kidding. But we'll see. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back with you. All right, we're getting close. Well, we're 69 miles out. So my calculations put us at about 15 to 20 miles out. We'll start down and make it to at least 15,000 by Cardi, and we'll keep pushing down. 5,000's the minimum for us to get over to Lindy. So, all right, folks. So enjoy this last few minutes here. We're probably about 40 miles out from top of descent. Let me. I forgot to do something over here. There we go. All right, so we're set there. Things set up here. No, it's not. Oh, hang on. It's gonna hurt. Let's get that pressure set right. Okay, close these off. Pretty set up pretty decently. All right. We're set to come in here, folks. So again, we're looking at about 30 miles now to top of descent. Yeah, Sim Toolkit predicts the top of descent pretty much on top of LA. Folks, wife has a call. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back with you. Sorry for that. 6,000 feet worth of descending. We are descending on the Hover 1, past Los Angeles, headed to Otis, then Hubbard, and then Cardi. Cardi is below 15,000 is our goal. So we're obviously set for 15, so we'll kind of judge it off. Now, you're old school here, folks. Let me, again, point this out. We're old school, 3 people. No nav displays, no nothing to tell you, am I going to make Cardi at 15,000 or not? Welcome to the old world of having to use that thing called mathematics. So, I know, it sucks. But we're through 30,000. We probably have in the order of, see, we got to get to 69, so we still got a good 40 miles to go. We'll see how we're doing. I really would like to get below that, but we can hang there for a little bit to get down, because ultimate goal is 5,000 at Liddy, and that's a 090 turn to go out to it. So we should be fine here, folks. Where my problem's going to come in is right here. Time to haul back the power. Again, a nice short flight, folks, to get us back in the Bird, back in the Queen, and working our way down. We're coming up to Otis here. It's covered up what the crossing is. Let's see if it's better on this page. That doesn't say. I think it's 42.7, but, you know, you gotta love it when it does that. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good here, folks. Wake up call. All right, so let's look over here at our checklist. Not gonna run it yet, seatbelts. Get those rowdy boxes in order. Anti-ice, good. Exterior lights, auto brakes, I believe we have set. Yep. Anti-ice, good. INS switches will be on radio here shortly. Brake, spoilers, and altimeters. All right, we're looking good, folks. Altimeters again. Just doing a recalculation. 290, so 296, that's perfect. 20, 30, 23. Okay, 30, 23. We're going to just get them set now. Okay. And you can see I've got the radar altimeter minimums at 600. Okay. See where we're standing here. All right, what I'm gonna do, coming off this, and Mission Bay is 1780 140. How we doing? Okay, we're below 17. Okay, we're gonna make it below 15. We're gonna go to like 11. Actually, let's just go to 10. Mission Bay would be 23. Inbound course 140. Okay, we made that level. Okay, let's just leave it at idle, see how she does. Okay, Tori will be 5 miles. So we got about, actually get her down to 9,000. Let's keep, okay, we're gonna have to speed brake down. Okay, there we go, folks. Little under, so I'm going to bring it up about 10 degrees more than, so we can get out to Lindy at a good angle so that I can turn and catch this localizer just right. Let's do that checklist as far as we can. Brake pressures, altimeters are set, landing data. Set.
Approach checklist, please.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoking signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Check.
Outer brakes.
Medium.
Radio INS switches.
Radio.
Flight director computer selectors.
Check.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Spoilers.
Hold on.
Okay.
Altimeters.
1, 0, 2, 4. Set and cross-check.
Landing data, EPR, and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Fuel panel. Check. Fuel heat. Off. EPR computer. This. Go around. Cabin altitude. Check. Circuit breakers. Check. Approach checklist completed.
Okay. We're getting close, folks, to turning in. A lot going on, I know. And I'm being really quiet because I'm trying to make everything come together. Let's go ahead and slow to 220. See if I need to kick down a little bit steeper, and I think I do.
Down to level off. Flaps 1. Flaps 5.
Okay, folks, here we go. All right, so we're off the INS. All right. Okay, 240.
Localizer alive.
I do believe I have a runway in
Gear
sight.
down. Flaps 10. Gears down, green light.
Okay, let's arm up the spoilers. Rebo 2000. Okay, we're going to have her slowed up.
Flaps 20. Flaps 30.
Landing checklist.
Gear.
Down and check.
Down and check. Flaps.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30. Ignition.
Flight start.
Anti-skid.
Check.
Altimeters. 1, 0, 2, 4. Set and cross-checked. Landing checklist completed.
Okay, landing stable. Gear down, flaps set, brakes set, spoilers set, pilot set, ready to land. San Diego traffic, FedEx 811 heavy. Localizer 27, we're 4 miles out.
1000. Approaching minimums.
Landing stable.
Minimums.
Terrain,
500.
terrain.
Feel like I'm high, but I can't see any pappies.
Don't sink.
On glide path. Got him now.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
I'm going to land.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10. Auto brake off.
I don't know if we're gonna... Oh, I hate this when this happens. You know what happened, folks, don't you?
Gear up. Flaps 10.
Ticks me off every time. Hadn't clicked on the right screen. That's why we didn't get reverse.
Gears up. Gear up.
All right, I'm just glad we had enough runway for the go-around, because I was really ticked we couldn't get the spoilers or the brakes to engage. All right, folks, let's give it a try again. Okay. Yeah, folks, we're hand flying this if you weren't knowing that.
Gear down. Gears down, green light.
All right, San Diego traffic, FedEx 811, second attempt, localizer 27.
Localizer alive. Thousand to level off. Flaps 20.
Okay, here we go. Let's get the speed set, go flaps full.
Flaps 30.
Visual on the runway. It is a 3.5-degree slope here, folks, so it does look steeper than it really is. Okay, 30. Spoilers armed. Brakes back to medium. Slowing to 140. And San Diego 4-mile final. 27. Hopefully full stop.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
Terrain, terrain. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Check reverse. Auto brake off. $60 knots. Out, off, reverse.
Okay, folks, we did it this time. Now the fun thing. We don't park here, folks. All right, let's come off the runway. I'll be honest, I don't even know if our spoiler's deployed on that one. And San Diego traffic, FedEx 811 made it. Clear, 27, taxi to FedEx. All right, you know what? I do need a chart. I don't. How about that? Okay, we'll go down here to B6, cross over so we can get to F. It's a funky place for cargo parking, so get ready for this one, folks. All right, 1 hour, 10 minutes. We'll add 15 to it, so an hour and 25-minute flight, resulting in a couple of bolters, but you know what? We made it. Looks like we made it. Oh, sorry, folks. Didn't mean to scare people off like that. All right, so let's get into the checklist here, shall we? All right, brake pressure, body gear, steering. Now we got to turn it back on. Ignition's off. We got a lot happening right now, folks, so. One more. And engine, radar, and transponder. Spoilers are down, trimmed to 7 units. All right, now we can cross at this one, the next 3. We'll go ahead and cross here. Just checking traffic even though we're not online. All right, so there's some overflow parking here, folks. Cargo's back there on that diagonal. Now, this is actually a more dangerous approach than, well, you kind of saw it. Not the power line part, folks. That part I've pretty well, I think, looked at a lot of video. No. However, yes, over the buildings. So, thankfully, no disasters to date. Something doesn't look right here. Hang on, let me look. Like no cab to that tower. Yeah, that's where the control tower is. In the air? Interesting. Now, okay, it is right, okay. I was just thinking, I bet you in real life they take them down to B4, taxiway Bravo 4, and then bring them up so they can get straight. But it looks like you can here. Now, DHL, I think, parks here. Not sure who here, but these are FedEx over here. Yeah, you see it. They're diagonals. Really weird. And I don't know how they push out. If they push, you know, how far they push them, or if they got to push them into where the 208s park, which are over here. I have no idea. And usually it's nothing this big. But MD-11s do come in here. A306s, folks, those aren't small planes. A306 would be comparable today to a 767. All right, I got a couple more steps to do that I'm going to slow the plane up for, and we'll be outside the movement area. But DHL, UPS, probably Amazon, all park in here. FedEx, I think, that all the way at the top, maybe. Not sure how much of this they encompass. All right. So flap spoilers, stable trim, outflow valves. Ooh, we gotta get those open. Manual. Half cargo heat off. And APU started.
After landing checklist.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Body gear steering.
Arm.
Outer brakes.
Damn. Off.
Ignition.
Off.
Engine and wing anti-ice.
Off.
Radar and transponder.
Standby.
Flaps.
Up. Flaps up.
Spoilers.
Down.
Stabilizer trim.
7 units.
Outflow valves. Open. Pressurization mode selector. Manual. Aft cargo heat. Off. APU. Check. Checklist completed.
All right, secure cockpit checklist. Brakes.
All right. All right. Why it's saying, I think it's a bug. I don't know what causes this, folks, but it does it every time. So we go to ground, set
Cockpit to
chocks.
ground. Put the chocks on.
Chocks are on.
Okay.
Beacon lights. Damn. Off.
INS.
Align.
Probe and window heat.
Off.
Back valves. Check. Fuel boost pumps. Let's see. Off. Reserve tank valves. Closed. Hydraulic panel. Wait. Check. Oxygen. Check. Flight recorder. Let's see.
Now that I don't know how to turn off.
Emergency lights.
Off.
Radar.
Off.
INS. This. Off. Let's see. Radio switches. Off.
Checklist completed.
Okay. We're done, folks. Yeah. A lot of silliness sometimes, but you know what? It is what it is.
Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power.
Ground power connected.
All right, so we had a 1.8 hour flight, and according to FedEx's ACARS system, 234 was our feet per minute. Burned 36,000 pounds of fuel. Compliments, yes, compliments of a go-around. Okay, just getting some paperwork taken care of here. We'll close that out. Okay, we weren't ever on, so we'll close that. And let's just double check. Yep, we're on the ground. Okay. All right, so there we go, folks. So welcome again into San Diego. I mean, city looks great. One thing missing. There is an aircraft carrier here all the time. I think it's called Midway. Not here. But that's okay. I mean, really, ultimately, Coast Guard's right over here. Navy base, we flew over it on go-around over here. Of course, the big one we all know about, Fighter Town, USA. That used to be here over that hill. Now up at Fallon. Yeah, the cab is missing on that, folks. Kind of funny. Let's see what it looks like from there. You know, there's something there at least. All right. So again, welcome in. Let's just get a nice shot. We'll just do it right from there. All right. So let's take a look. What did the statistical data come out with? Ooh, big words. Look at that. 3 landings. Or 3 reports. Why? Because we actually did touch down the first time. So we'll see which one took. Let's see. Logged my flight. 295. Folks, not bad. All right, so let's look at it. I'm not sure which one it's going to actually log. Here's what the flight looked like. Actually, not bad. Here's the details of the flight. Hour and 37 minutes logged in Sim Toolkit, 388 miles. 110, 295, 157. A little fast on the landing, but hey, we're fine. Oh, I didn't want to do that, folks. I want to view the full landing report. All right, this is where the rubber so-called hits the pavement. Again, I do not know which landing this was, but I do know both were long. Pitch 2.8, so we weren't fully pitched up for a good flare, but 295's not bad. 157's not bad. Granted, it should have been down around 130. 110 on the, so we did ease it onto the runway, but still hit at 295. I don't get that one, but hey. However, remember, this was a 9,400-foot runway. So, when you go 2,500, 2,600 feet down the runway, you're scooting with the E-mast down here. And that is because they don't want you to go into the bay here or worse. So, all right, so that's one thing. 23 feet left. With a 747, you try to get on that center line as best you can because, folks, it's a wide aircraft. So, statistically, we're not all the great. Again, see how they park here, folks. And again, when a 747, they may put 747s right down here to get out of the way. I didn't even think about that. But GA aircraft, the the Cessna 208s all park in here. Because there just isn't a lot of parking here. There's DHL. I'm assuming UPS here just by the way it looks. So there you go, folks. And then, hey, where's the carrier at? Where would it be? Oh, there it is. Oh, I was looking. Well, that's weird. It moves. I don't know which one's normally here, folks, but one of them is. Unless they've actually gotten rid of one. Who knows? It used to be the Midway on display. Don't know anymore if it's still there or not. There's another one right there. I know the Reagan was based out of here too. All right, enough of this. Boink. We want to see the replay. I want to see it. Just closing the plane up.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power. Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
Okay. Hopefully we can rewind. Yay. Boo, I don't think we're doing anything, folks. Not sure what's going on. I know what's going on. It's called Crash to Desktop. All right, folks. Well, you know what? I guess that means that's a good point for us to call it. All right, so it was a great flight, folks. Hope you enjoyed the run from Oakland down the coast to San Diego, 295 feet a minute, and really a good flight all around, even a go around for y'all. So hope to see you on the next edition. It'll be another 727 flight, but hope y'all will be here tomorrow for it. For now, it's Captain Mike saying, "Wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? Thanks be to God, through Jesus Christ our Lord." Folks, that's the verse of the day. Something to really rejoice in. Because eventually we're going to exchange these bodies for heavenly bodies. So as they return to dust, we'll return to heaven. So, folks, keep that in mind. Y'all have a great day. God bless you all. Maybe tomorrow. Well, tomorrow will work because we'll be in X-Plane 11. See you then.